Let's get into some more shenanigans with Arlo. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with episodes 2 and 3 of Arlo. We're doing 2 episodes here. We're probably going to try to do 2 episodes each time, but I can't guarantee it. Not going to guarantee it. We'll just take it as it goes. So last time we just kind of followed up the movie. We had Arlo settling in with all of his new friends and throwing a housewarming party, kind of having to learn about boundaries, but also not as much as honestly should have been done. But it was still a nice, fun, sweet episode. Had some great music, great characters. Yeah, it was a good follow up to the movie that we started this all with. And now we're in episodes 2 and 3. So now that we had that set up, we can start to like really maybe explore the town a little more, explore the characters further. I don't think we're going to get into any heavy stuff right off the bat, but I'm really excited to see what more we can do with this pretty wild cast. So, I don't really want to waste too much more time here. I think I just want to get into this and see what these 2 episodes have in store. So, I thank you, as always, for tuning in. Let's just get this going. Cutting in here real quick to remind you of all the awesome content we have on the channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions, with 2 on Wednesday. We also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday, as well as Let's Plays. We currently alternate between Horizon Forbidden West and Baldur's Gate 3 every day, as well as have Nier Automata on Saturdays. And don't forget to follow the link in the description below to today's reaction. I do redirect all reactions just due to copyright. And on top of that, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more awesome content like this. Thank you so much for tuning in, and let's get to today's reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, just like the first episode, these two kind of had their own little themes, messages, whatever you want to call it. Episode 2 focused on the idea of not changing for the purpose of what others think about you. About not being afraid to be yourself and live your authentic life. And this is shown through the town being changed to fit what they think is the ideals of the mayor, who is coming to see what this town is like and everything. And admittedly, Ansel didn't really help with matters. He made things out to be a lot more dire and a lot worse than they were, which he admitted to, mind you. And it caused everyone, Arlo and the rest of the group, to kind of panic over getting this place fancy. When really the mayor just wanted it to be authentic and wanted, like, you know, authentic New York pizza, the art and everything. And once they got once they got things back to how they were, she appreciated it quite a lot. She found a lot to love about Seaside Seashore, whatever the hell it's called. And I think that's a good message, a good lesson, because it doesn't only apply to like your living space, I guess, the town you're in and stuff. It can apply to a person as they are too. Don't change who you are for the sake of others. Don't be afraid to unapologetically be yourself. This is a lesson that a lot of people, unfortunately, do need to learn. Because a lot of people try to change who they are and try to be like who they're not just to impress others. Whether it's impressing a employer, impressing a partner, or a partner's parents even, or their own parents, etc., etc. And that's just not okay. Like, you want to live your authentic, real life. And if you have like a partner who isn't going to let you do that, that's very toxic, honestly. You should always have a partner who will accept you for who you are and not try to force you to change. As long as you're not hurting others, who cares if you like collect plushes or um, eat less healthy or stuff like that? As long as you're not hurting others, it's like, what does it matter? And if you're willing to change certain things, as long as it's by your choice, then that's okay. But you shouldn't be doing it for others' approval. If you're doing it for your own sake, your own desires, that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. Now, the second episode here focuses on a more internal issue. While the first one is definitely something more, I guess you could say, easy to understand, a little more simple, the issue in our second episode here, episode 3, actually, is a lot more difficult and a lot trickier because it's centered around focusing, and specifically focusing when that's something that's extremely hard for you to do. Now, in Alia's case, she's a cat. She has heightened senses, and that causes her to get distracted very easily by certain sights, smells, sounds, etc., etc. She can sense things to a higher degree than others, and any of that can be extremely distracting to her mind. Um, in terms of real life, though, there are a lot of people who have this kind of issue, not with like specifically the hypersenses necessarily, but with trouble focusing. A lot of these people can get very distracted, and I'm to a degree one of them. I've always kind of said that the problem with the idea of me like working from home and stuff like that would be that I would be way too easily distracted by anything. If I were like if I had like a job where I was working from home on my computer, I could easily get distracted by looking at Facebook, by by going onto Twitter or YouTube, or looking something up and just going down a rabbit hole of that. It's not a case where you can just say like, oh well, just don't do that. No, that's not how it works. Especially to someone who has like the kind of disabilities I have. It is difficult for my mind to focus. It is very difficult for me to like do one thing for a long period of time because of that. I'll give you an example here. There's many times when I'm recording where like I'll record a reaction, right? And you'll see me looking at my phone. You'll see me like looking down like this, and I'm looking at my phone because my phone buzzed and I had some kind of message or notification come in. And a normal person would probably just ignore that. But for me, it's like I will get super fucking antsy if I even try to ignore it. So I just, without even thinking about it, pick up my phone and check it. I use the touchpad, the fingerprint pad, and look it up. And if it's something that I can just like swipe away, then I'll do that, turn it off, put it down. But sometimes I'll actually read something and everything while I'm still watching. And I'm still trying to pay as much attention as I can. I'm still like glancing back up at the screen. I'm still listening and everything. But I can miss stuff like that. And it's something I can't exactly help as well as you would want. As well as I would want. But it's not even just that. Sometimes when I finish a recording, I like hit to stop the recording and everything, I'll start looking something up on my phone. And I'll just sit there for like half an hour doing that before I realize it's like, oh shit, I need to continue recording stuff. And it's wild how distracted I can get. If I tried to have like like a job from home on the computer, it's like, just imagine how poorly that would go. Again, it's not something I can just like say I'm not going to do. I can't just like will myself into not doing it that easily. Usually, with people who have focusing issues like this, you have to find some way to, well, focus. You have to find a way that gets you to that mindset. And that's what's actually showcased here. Alia uses the turtles. Alia uses the turtles to motivate her and to, like, focus her mind. It allows her to ignore outside interferences and distractions by focusing her mind on the thought of the turtles. It's basically a mechanism she uses in order to get over her distractions. And that's exactly what people who have this issue have to try and do in real life, too. And I'm not good at it. I will admit that. Again, you see me do this all the time on reactions where I'm looking down at my phone and stuff. I'm not good at that. And so I basically just try my best. Whenever I notice I'm doing it, I just try my best to stop doing it and focus. And as someone who's autistic as well, one of the easiest methods for me is to stim. And if you don't know what stimming means, it basically just means playing with something in my hands. I've talked about this before, but I'll talk about it again here real quick. One of the big things that I use is like a rubber band, like this. I will like often like unravel it, roll it up in my hands and stuff. And I do this like off camera, like down here. But like just to show you, like I roll it up like this, I'll stretch it, stuff like that. Because it helps me focus. And it's like I'm doing it almost subconsciously. It's not something I try to do. It's not something I like will myself to do most of the time, though there are occasions where I do. But most of the time, it's just I'm just sitting here playing with it while I'm watching, and it helps me focus. And sometimes, because of that, I don't even notice my phone go off. Now, sometimes I'm not doing that though. Sometimes it'll just be sitting here on the table, and that's when I check my phone most often, because I'm not actually doing that to keep my attention to focus myself. But that is a way that myself and a lot of other people who are autistic are able to handle that. You could, I mean, stimming is the most typical term for it, but you could also call it fidgeting. It's kind of where the entire fidget spinner, fidget cube thing came from and all. And it can be anything. It doesn't have to be a fidget spinner or fidget cube. It doesn't have to be a rubber band. You can do it with almost anything. I've done it literally with like a set of like raffle tickets. I don't have them at the moment to show off, but it's like I would like flip through them in my hands just randomly. Or like here, I could show you like with my comb here. I could like play with the bristles and everything. Just like run my fingers over it. That could be a way to stim as well. There's all kinds of different ways, and it just depends on the person for what they do. The rubber band and stuff like that is my typical go-to. I don't usually like to do anything like run my fingers over a comb bristle, because that takes more of my attention away. But like something like this, it's soft, it's like it's rubbery, and it's easy to just like mess with without distracting myself towards what I'm messing with, you know? So it's what I tend to go with most often. But I've done like various other things too. So it's like Alia's struggle here to focus and everything, while obviously an exaggerated version compared to someone like myself, is definitely relatable. And definitely something that real people can connect to. It's a very real issue that people have, and is something that again, even with the exaggerated aspect of it shown here, it's something that everyone who goes through this can understand to a degree. And the idea of learning to handle that through finding different methods to focus is a good theme and a good message to showcase to whether kids or adults watching this. So I really liked this one. Like I actually liked it more than episode two, and I liked episode two. But episode three just kind of really like spoke to me personally because of that entire issue. Plus, admittedly, I really like Alia. Like, if I'm just being completely honest, I think she's adorable. And Haley Ju is great with the voice and everything. Also, the rap, like, I was looking for that in the credits because I wanted to like credit whoever wrote that and everything because that was just great. That rap was fantastic. And Haley Ju did a great job performing it. It was so good. Episode 2 actually didn't have a song, now that I think about it. Episodes 1 and 3 did. So I guess there's not going to be a song every single episode, but probably most of them will have a song because it is, based off of a musical movie and everything. It's going to have music in it, just, I guess, not every single time. um, but yeah, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a great set of episodes. And I hope we get more episodes that just focus around characters. Speaking of focusing. Because with the first two episodes, it was kind of a group thing. But then episode 3 was like everyone was shown and everyone had a part to play and. But Alia was the focused character, even more so than Arlo. And so it's like, I want to see more of that. Like, I want to see an episode with Teeny Tiny Tony. I want to see an episode with Marcellus. I want to see everyone get their time to truly shine and to face problems and whatnot that they would go through as their characters. Because I think that's what any good show should strive to do when it has a notably sized cast like this. You should want to highlight every character you have, at least in terms of main characters. So, yeah, this was great. I had a good time with this, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. So let me know what you thought of these two episodes, what you thought of the cat rap, what you thought of the themes and messages within them down below. And thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.